Good afternoon, friends. Myself is Dr. Murugesan. I am working for the National Institute of Rural Development, which is a Government of India organization. It's located at Hyderabad. Basically, I am from Madurai district. My wife is from Neyveli district. Yes, we are also a victim of the same flood and tsunami has affected the area in the Neyveli. Obviously, sir, we are thankful for your food, but we had for 3 days of that flood and they also number one. Next thing is my compliments goes to the organizers. This is excellently organized. I'm also organizing such program in my organization for the corporates and all the sectors. And particularly my concentration goes towards the rural development and not it was in the gamut of social, but mine is rural and how it can be tapped towards. So my thinking always, to take our friends towards corporate friends towards the rural development in total, in the particular village development concepts. So instead of spreading the money and giving the different villages, why don't you concentrate in a particular village so that in a particular stretch that entire pocket can be developed in a full-fledged manner. So that's what my mind is still thinking, sir. I'm writing an article over that. And the third point is obviously our CSR's contributions towards the agriculture development, because agriculture is going to be the main objective. But as Saras rightly said, that world war is going to be for water. It's not only for water, water is the base for the food. So unless we don't have food, we cannot eat money. So that aspect is also very much important to be considered, to be it's a matter of concern for that such meetings, all these things for the country to number one. Sir, I think a small suggestion maybe worthwhile or not. Why should not we think over the corporates with the linking of rivers with the funding towards the with the major projects like that? So small projects can be it can be it
can be
linking of rivers from Ganga to because it's our priority sector. Why should not be joined our hands?
The government cannot do.
So it can be that directly gives the water for the entire stretch of the country, including the from Ganga to from my Kaveri. So it is recharging the water levels of the entire country, including the Deccan Plateau. Yes, while coming from the NIRD to IPE, I never seen a water percolating tank even in this roads or in the outer ring roads. So this is what it's clicking in my mind. So this is my humble submission to the august bodies to can put it in black and white so that it can be something can be done. Thank you very much.
Although it may be looking, funny to some, this idea, but I must tell you, those chronic problems have solutions in such wild ideas only. So you never know, it may turn out to be a solution. So something big has to be done. Something, and it cannot be one solution, it has to be a strategy. So all of us are working, and please join hands.
It was started in NDA's period, sir. It was the dream project of Valley Vajpayee also. So then it was abandoned for some reason, and I think with this new government, I think we can.
No,
Actually, it was initiated by the
Golden Triangle, that's infrastructure development. So now, earlier I used to visit my village. I took about 30 hours journey, but now in 11 hours kilometers I'm reaching my mother.
As NHI is doing, so I think this also needs to be prioritized.
It could be possible.
Here, just I want to flag one aspect. When we say this government or that government, the underlying assumption is everything our government will do for us. Probably now is the time for us to think at individual level that what I can do for it. Please shift the focus, things will change, definitely. I feel so.
Myself, MSA Khan, Senior Manager Personnel, Central Mines Planning and Design Institute. It is a subsidiary of Coal India Limited. We have our office in several parts of the country, in 7 states. We are working for coal industry. Our main objective is to prepare the project report for the production company, and after preparing the report, we are used to submit it to the Government of India, and after that, production goes on. We have certain work on CSR, and I am very delightful, I am very thankful to Sri R.K. Mishra Sahab, Dr. Poonam Singh, Dr. Sulugna Sarkar. The beauty of this conference lies that we have various delegates from the various areas. The academicians are there, the public sector executives are here, the private sector executives are there, NGOs officers are there. Yeah. My small suggestion was that if we could have interacted between ourselves, what the problem we are facing in implementation of the CSR activities, that would have been better for all of us, and that should be taken care of in the next conference. Thank you.
We should devote one session.
For interaction of the participants also needed, that is needed. Thanks again. Thank you.
Please.
Good afternoon, sir. I am a student of Institute of Public Enterprise. As you said, that CSR has been mandated by the government, and that before conducting the CSR, we need to have a baseline survey. So I just have one small question. Is it possible that 2 or 3 companies can come forward and share their baseline surveys, so that it would be helpful for the other organizations also? They don't have to go and conduct the survey because they might spend more money, and instead of that they can just share the surveys, because if I have a small organization, I might not be able to do that project because of huge magnitude. But somebody else can help me, or we all can come together to set up a small project, because together we can make much more difference. Thank you.
To share some of the efforts which have been made already in this regard. No?
No, it's a good session. Not only the one of the industry, even the NGOs, even they can do it. They can do it, and they can, they have done, and they can propagate that this area has to be developed. That will be very useful to the companies also to, identify the area where they can give them more funds and other things. That's a good session.
I also appreciate your idea of doing it collectively. I just want to share one initiative our CPSEs have taken recently, just few months back, that in the Ministry of Power, Coal and New and Renewable Energy, our Honorable Minister has set up a task force of comprising of 6 directors, and I am the lucky one to be a part of that. And what we have done is that we have seen that operating cost and capital cost spending, which includes CSR also, we are finding out ways to not only bring efficiency in purchase of goods and services, but also optimizing the spending and finding the value by demand consolidation. And in this regard, what we have achieved so far, I want to share that what we did, that we are 22 CPSEs under this ministry, and we joined hands together. Some CPSE is spending, we took the first case of air travel spending. Some companies are spending 50 lakh, 1 crore per year. NTPC is spending some 34 crore. Coal India is spending some 19 crore. Total is 84 crore. And when we found that these CPSEs at individual levels, they were having some agreement, some big CPSEs were having agreements with some airlines who were offering them some 5%, 7% discount on the air tickets. And when we joined together, and when we talked to airlines, Air India itself has given 20% discount to us. without changing anything on the front, combining together, this 20% is not only accruing to the CPSEs who is powerful, but also to the smallest CPSE who is not able to have resources to have such mechanism or talk to airlines. And now seeing the effort and we are going to save something like 12-13 crore rupees, although it looks to be a small amount now. 84 crore is the air travel spending of these 22 CPSEs, and once this effort has been recognized, then our Prime Minister office got interested in this initiative. They have advised us to replicate this in oil and natural gas sector, and you'll be happy to know that 6 more directors have been co-opted by our task force from them, and we have got much better offers from the airlines now as compared to what we had to this task force. So this 22 will become 290 CPSEs. Total OPEX and CAPEX spending per year is not 84, not 180 crore for oil sector, but 20 lakh crore per year is the spending by all CPSEs on OPEX and CAPEX. And even if we target a pittance of 10% discount, which I am sure we will definitely be able to achieve it, if we join together, we work like this, we will be able to save huge money, which can always be, redeployed. Thank you.
Good evening, sir.
Sorry.
This is Vani here. I am actually a student of IICA for the CSR course, and I've been here for the past 2 days. I have been listening to all the people talking from corporates and NGOs and the PSUs. What I wanted to understand was, is there any baseline survey which is done for all over India? What is the requirement? Like, it could be vocational skills. We have been doing a lot of vocational and all these courses. But once these people come out of these courses, where are the employment opportunities? Or what is the demand and supply? Not only in one particular region, or it could be some of the PSUs are taking up some particular area.
No, when this companies amendment act took place, they have taken the opinions of each PSU, and also they organized conferences. After that only it came. And whatever the schedule, if you see the 7, whatever the identified are identified based on some inputs, they have got it. But I cannot say that it's a baseline survey as done, but that is the inputs, they got it. After that only they included in the schedule 7. But earlier the TP, particularly what sir said like that, some of the organization in combination, they have done particularly some areas, particularly the tribal areas they identified, and northeast they identified, and some of the areas in the Orissa and Bihar they identified the thrust areas where the CSR funds has to be given. So this is what I can say.
Because when I went to Mahabubnagar last week, there is one particular area which is nearly almost 3 hours or 4 hours from Hyderabad. But then there are so many government schools, and then there are no teachers available. So is there a demand for teacher training, and are we doing it? This correlation between what is the demand and what is supply, how is it getting?
No, actually, if you see there is another thing, discussion is going on. Whether the corporates can enter into the arena of government. See, it is the providing teachers or this thing is the government job. So of course, if you see the clash is there now also in the radio. So that is very difficult. Corporates can give provide temporary solutions.
Not about corporates. It could be NGOs, but then there should be a demarcated area for each, maybe PSU or an area, whatever, whichever way. But if that need is identified, there
Answer.
are teachers who are already available. But I find it last 2 months of the exam, there are no teachers. There was some talking about vocational skills. So are these things being looked into?
Yes.
Or it is just that I have an NGO or I have I'm doing this. But how are these things being managed?
Very right, very right. I think the reply lies in the question of the earlier student. She has said that, whether it can be done combined. And I have also raised certain concerns at the end of my speech, that we must address these questions, that how, whether the objectives are being met finally. In fact, there are some, there is a active consideration that why not to have some sort of, like our Honorable Prime Minister has given a call for Swachh Bharat, and it has taken, it is taken up by all the CPSCs, targets were fixed, WhatsApp groups were formed, everyday reporting is there, and we achieved it. And finally, whatever may be the scale, whatever may be the satisfaction, we across the country it has been done. Same way, we have to have something at the central level by pooling together our resources and the requirements, and overall strategy must be guided. And I feel PSUs are best placed, because private sector companies may not be able to think on those lines of joining together, because objectives may be different, rivalries may be there. Public sector can do it, and I feel this can be done. I'm just telling you.
This type of initiative is already being taken. It's prevailing in Chhattisgarh.
Achha.
NMDC is doing that. Under Shiksha Samartha Yojana, we are giving opportunity to the teachers to teach English, maths, science to the students. And they will be like Vidya volunteers, what you are telling, and they will be teaching to the state government schools. That support is provided, and NMDC is funding 100 CSR activity. It is one of the sub-activity of that. That's being taken care.
Very good, very good. Now, what I was talking, based on her question, that she is indicating one area, I'm saying that all the 10 areas specified in Schedule 7, not only that, last item is others, means whatever may be prescribed. Prescribed means whatever is required. Any other item means anything crops up in future, right? So all these requirements and resources have to be matched, and this can be done by public sector. Why so? Because no other institution, no other ministry exclusively, separately can do it. Public sector is well placed in doing this. That is why, let us see how we can do it.
Today morning, Suma Ravi was talking about tribe. She was mentioning they've already undertaken some, studies for some villages all over India, how many Anganwadis are required. Because we in the school sector side is talking about it. So what I'm trying to say, there are so many, like we were talking about electrical companies where they're needing some training. So there is a requirement for this particular field. Mining field, what is the requirement? Electric field, what is the requirement? If that could be adapted for all over India, and then accordingly the vocational skills are also being given, it would be the demand and supply would be there. Otherwise, there are a lot of people who have done courses, but there is nobody to take them. So vocational training is
I will take you one step further. These companies may be finding it difficult to find newer projects. Which projects they should take up? What to talk of finding skills based on what they are doing? Ultimately, this combination of demand and demand management at the PSU level combined way, 290 CPSCs, is only going to help. Then only we will know what our society, what our country needs. Again, I am prompted to give you another example. If you see the CPSC survey for the year 13-14, which is a published document, 2,60,000 crore is lying surplus in the banks in the CPSE's accounts. 2,60,000 crore, which is earning a pittance of 7% interest in short-term deposits, right? On the other hand, CPSEs are not able to meet their capex requirements. Whatever they are planning, they are not able to spend. On the third hand, there are sick CPSEs who are starving for cash. There is another fourth aspect is that those CPSEs who are really doing well also, on one hand they are keeping the money in their bank accounts, on the other hand they are drawing loan at the rate of 12%, 11% depending upon the credit rating and project risks. Just by pulling these resources together also, I am sure if we see the debt equity ratio of all public sector, it is 0.47, which is suboptimal. We are locking our equity. We are not leveraging. Financial leverage you must have studied. And if we use that, we will be able to unlock some 2 lakh crore more. 5 lakh crore equity can be topped up with 10 lakh crore debt. And 15 lakh crore projects can be started immediately without seeking anybody's help. All those things can happen, but where are the projects? So projects means we have to identify, and on the other hand, we are lacking infrastructure, we are lacking power, we are lacking resources. So all these things will be done. All of us will have to find out solutions in the time.
Thank you, sir. To express our gratitude to dignitaries on dais, may I request Dr. Shulagna Sarkar to present a memento to Sri Rakesh Kumar Sir, Director Finance NLC. May I request Dr. Poonam Singh to present a token of respect to Sri VSB Babu, Director HR ECIL.